A technician at work gave me this set in 1994. It so happened I was restoring another RCA X60 during that time, and this set was not in great shape, but the speaker looked better than the one in my other set, so I swapped them out. This set sat in a box in the garage ever since, until now, 29 years later. I finally decided maybe I would restore this one too. Right there is where the transformer assembly is supposed to be held down by a bolt and a nut, but the nut was missing, so the coil assembly was just floating free, wobbling around inside the can. Before I took the transformer out of the can, I marked that the red wire comes out here, the green wire there, the black wire there, and the blue wire there. So I know how to line it up. And this set of 3 holes here, I can look at the picture I took before I took this off the chassis, so I know which way that it goes back on. So now the old wires are off and the new wires are on. So we test the red and blue wires. I got 23.4 ohms. That looks good. Now we'll check the green and the black. 23.5 ohm. Looks great. Okay, it's ready to put back together, and we'll check it again after that's done. So to fasten the transformer inside the can, you have to put a screwdriver up through the middle of the coil form and engage the screw, and then a nut driver, 1/4 inch nut driver on this end. Hold this, don't let the screw turn, and then use the nut driver to fasten down the mounting nut on top, and that's all you have to do. I already did that before I made this clip, and I've already checked the wires and everything's good to go. This baby's all back together. See if you can see the coil there. Yeah. I disassembled and cleaned the volume control and switch, same as before. They test fine now. I tested all of the resistors, and this table shows the results. For this one, I had a 270K resistor available instead of 220K, but it should be fine for the purpose of this resistor. For this one, I added a 1 megohm in parallel to bring the total resistance back to almost exactly 220K. I got lucky on that one. The out-of-spec resistor is inside the socket housing for the Magic Eye tube. Taking the socket housing off is very risky, as I found out on the first X60 that I restored. So I'm going to put instead a 2.2 megohm parallel resistor into pins 2 and 4 of the socket, but on the outside of the socket. The tube pins should hold it in place okay once the tube is inserted. The 2.2 megohm resistor has about 90 volts on it, so I wrapped some electrical tape around the back shell. I replaced all the fixed value capacitors except 2 of the molded mica capacitors. I used contact cleaner on the band switch and the tone switch. I made sure the AC circuitry, including the heaters and the pilot lamp circuitry, had continuity. And I then connected the select antenna using a 4-turn coupling loop taped to its backside. Here are some notes regarding the first power-up and what I did to finally get the set working very well. So let's see what we can tune in. Okay, the antenna, there's my antenna, and I'm tuned in to KTNN 660 in Window Rock, Arizona. Show you how the select antenna makes a big difference.
Taking them down. Is it protocol, or do you know whether or not they call your folks?
KTNN Window Rock, KTNN FM Tallahassee, KKNS Corrales.